what about my condition?
It's your decision. It's not my place to stop you.
I guess you're right. I don't even have the ability to regret.
Stop showing a basketball! It has nothing to do with either of these characters. And why is it an abstract silhouette? What the hell is going on? Oh, son of a... Welcome back. So, where will the odyssey of nonsensical production design lead us today? After the allied armies of candles and abstract Photoshop brushes surround and presumably murder Chihiro and Himura, we cut to Kei playing basketball. You know, just a thought about scene transitions, guys. You don't start doing it 2 scenes ahead of time. This is never going to stop, is it?
Now then, good morning, Oni-chan. Rise and shine. Get up or you'll be late. Okay, I've done all that I can. The rest is up to you, big brother. I said get up!
So if she was just going to do that from the beginning, then an entire minute of this episode was... But what irritates me the most is this perpetually inconsistent use of Oni-chan and Big Brother. There's just no reason for it. You have to make a firm decision. You have to use Big Brother every time or Oni-chan every time. I would personally choose Oni-chan because it's an informal personal term of affection that can be used for someone who isn't actually your older brother, just someone you respect in general. Basically, in context, it would make a lot more sense. Calling someone Big Brother in English is not only a butchered translation, but it also, you know, makes it sound like Hiro is actually her big brother. What were they thinking? Oh yeah, and she's a tsundere bitch with hidden feelings for Hiro. Quick, gentlemen, we must launch an expedition for the rarest treasure of all time, the fox I give.
Your attendance record is horrible. You're barely even passing. You're not academic. Your grades suck. Your personality sucks even more, and if you keep missing classes, you're just asking to repeat a grade. Do you want to be in school forever?
Well, Sherpa Dave is still missing. Our guide, Musraf, was brutally dismembered by chimpanzees, and... Oh yeah! There are no fucks for me to give! For the record, this is our official introduction to K Shindo as a character. Well, guess what? I hate her. She's an awful human being. Not only is she the worst trope in all of anime, but she's so hyperbolically awful that there is literally nothing that can redeem her in my eyes. But hey, spoiler alert, they don't even try. Oh, and does this shot of her walking over the bridge in unnecessary fisheye make you uncomfortable? Speaking of which, after Sheen makes some more offensive womanizing comments, we cut to 30 seconds of pure abstract art that makes literally no sense in context with anything that just happened. The director and Hiro were talking about what a horrible dick he is, and then they left frame, saying that they were heading to class. The bell for class then rings. With no transition, literally or thematically, a violin song starts playing and we end with Hirono on the roof. Alone. Talk about stranding continuity. Why even bother establishing a destination for the two of them if you weren't going to cut to it? It would be like if I said, man, I'm really hungry. I could go for some food. I think I'm gonna meet up with several of my friends to get some food, and then cut to... I feel totally fine. And then there's the violin music. What does this have to do with anything? You want to know the answer that the show won't see fit to give us until the second series? Hiro's a fan of a character in this show named Kuze who plays the violin. End of relevance. That shot of some random hands getting ready to play some violin somewhere doesn't matter. But hey, why not overplay it until it loses all emotional impact whatsoever?
It was as if my world was missing a color. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't figure out which color. I searched for an answer, but I could never find one.
Hiro awakens from a dream to meet Miyako before we cut to the exact moment the director gave up. Wow, that's some amazing video you got there, Chief. What, did you watch the first episode and screen cap it? I'm serious. This video is impossible. At the beginning of the first episode, he didn't even raise his camera before she was gone. Then, at the end, he somehow had a single blurry frame, and now, less than one episode later, he has entire clips of her. What's the excuse here? This happened last episode. Oh, but wait till you hear this. You want to know what the director thinks of people like me?
Your shots are good, but they're a little hard to join together.
Huh? They're just too bold. They don't really go with the flow.
If you want to win at the film festival, you better start taking pictures that appeal to the general public.
What cartoonish crap is this? The guy is so full of himself that he can't write one line of self-criticism. His best shot is, hey man, the problem is that you're too much of a visionary. The breadth of your creative brilliance is so vast that it goes right over the heads of little people like us. That's why you, suck. And yeah, you really need to make sure your film is mainstream enough to appeal to those film festival audiences. You know, all those totally real film festivals where the Transformers movies sweep every category because they're so mainstream. Oh, this guy is so stupid that even in his own self-aggrandizing backwards pseudo-insults, he makes no sense.
Oh, the only reason we hate you is because you're just so much better than all of us. Yes, you're smarter, better looking, and far more perfect than any of us could hope for. You're a veritable God incarnate. Oh, that is so me. I mean, Kyosuke. Now, where is that pawn? Oh, yes. Oh, 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 oh.
Listen up!
Seriously? Oh, man. I know continuity is hard, guys, but she was half sitting in that last shot with her hands still on the table, and you immediately cut to her standing upright a foot away from the table, hands in front of her. You unbelievable clods. So, anyway, after our esteemed Lord Director pervs out on Kay, we cut to her. What a transition. Okay, I had no chance of reading that. No one had a chance of reading that. You might as well have just been like... Nailed it.
Renji-kun is coming soon. I'm going to tell him the truth today.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, editing so bad, it had to be fixed in post. I had no idea that was even possible.
Can I stop by for a little while after my basketball practice? Wait, he has a deadline.
Well, that sure deserved a scene. I know they're trying to make me think that Kay really actually cares about Hiro, but that's just not true. She cares about herself, and she cares about the fact that she wants him because she cares about herself. It's not love, it's not affection, it's teenage hormones in all their splendid idiocy. Speaking of which...
I was shocked. Who knew that we went to the same school? I'm talking about a reunion with the guy I spent Christmas with. He wanted it to be romantic.
I had to pay for everything and lost my bike.
By any chance, could your dream be to draw manga, Hirono-kun?
My dream?
Don't be embarrassed. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
But I'm already a manga artist.
In reality or fantasy?
Reality. I'm a professional manga artist with my own series.
First off, are we supposed to believe that this is a coupling that has a romantic future? Because I'm under the impression that we're not supposed to. I think Miyako is being sarcastic whenever she talks about stuff being romantic or whatever. At least, that seems to be her habit. But you can't have someone speak exclusively in sarcasm. All that tells us is what they don't want and who they aren't. And the problem is that every time Miyako talks about a possible relationship with Hiro, it's always sarcastic. And with Hiro, it's the opposite problem. It's as though he's actively trying to put her off as much as possible. This is not a conversation that results in romance. Ever.
Alright, good one. Well, I absolutely adore you. You might even call it love.
What?
Come on, it was just a joke. Quit being a perv.
Well, fine, I hate you anyway.
So we done being friends then?
Yup.
Alright, good.
As if that wasn't bad enough, what the hell is Hiro doing here? Hey, so there's this really important personal secret that I've gone to great lengths to ensure no one uncovers. Want to know what it is real quick? I mean, this is a chick who stole his bike, and according to the statement he just made...
We just went from karaoke rooms to coffee shops all night long, and I had to pay for everything and lost my bike.
Ruined his Christmas. This is the second time he's ever seen her, ever, but he's ready to spill his greatest personal secret to her? Why? I just don't get this at all. Hiro desperately wants to keep this whole thing a secret from everyone because it could compromise his position, but he decides to tell some ADHD moron he barely knows like this is a deathbed confessional.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I guess.
Well, okay, I guess it makes sense. Anyway, Hiro talks Miyako into reading his manga by attempting to break his own neck, and we cut to a basketball playing its own game. Well, Kay's outside and there's no one in the gym, so you tell me what happened.
I guess Chihiro's not here yet.
Rejected! However, just when we think Renji's going to get hit by a train and put out of our misery, Chihiro melts out of the sky and lands next to him. I literally have no other means of describing what just happened.
Well, I was reading after lunch and I lost track of time.
What were you reading?
A very boring book.
So boring you lost track of time?
No, I didn't lose track of time.
What's the matter? You can't even tell a friend?
You are my friend, but
But what?
You're so mean.
Ladies and gentlemen, some of the most pointless dialogue ever written. Keep in mind that before this conversation takes place, we have no idea why Chihiro is late. In fact, we have no idea that she will show up at all. So when she lies here, we have no idea what she's lying about, why she's lying, or if it has anything to do with Renji at all. However, she's also so terrible at lying that she contradicts herself within one sentence. How do you do that? And finally, yes, calling a woman out for blatantly and intentionally lying to your face makes you mean. Am I meant to follow this or be interested in it? No! But when she does finally tell him what she was really doing, it doesn't go anywhere either.
Were you writing a book?
Why are you so mean to me?
Anyway, that's amazing. You're a real novelist, huh?
You're being sarcastic. Don't be curious about me.
Oh, okay.
Don't mention it ever again, you hear? Not in your grave or even in hell, you understand? I don't want to be a novelist. I just want to write a story.
Oh, so only you can talk about it and whenever you want, but Renji isn't allowed to talk about it even when he's fucking dead. You bitch, and whoa!
I think you can do it.
Where the hell did this entire tree come from? You can't just recycle a shot and slap a tree in front of it. We can tell it's still the same shot. How absurdly fake. Man, they did not care. But this conversation exposes a much, much bigger writing flaw that I'm guessing most people don't even think about, and it's this. Why is Chihiro so distrusting? We see Chihiro time and time again throughout this series call Renji mean and question his motives when he asks her about her book. However, within the context of their relationship, we never see any reason for her to not trust him. Renji's never anything but genuine to her when it comes to this, so the implication would seem to be that she has been betrayed before when it comes to her dream of writing a novel. But how would Chihiro remember this? Obviously, she couldn't. You might then assume that she just doesn't trust anybody because she feels like she can't make real friends and is doomed to be alone forever. But wouldn't that actually make the opposite true? If you're painfully lonely, wouldn't you cling to someone genuine who cared about you and what you want? Well, of course you would. So then, there must be another reason, some extenuating circumstance why she doesn't feel like she can trust Renji, right? And that is the problem. We're never shown, much less told or given an implication, that anything similar to what's happening now has ever happened to Chihiro involving another guy or, hell, anybody else at any point in the past. Not even once! Later on, you might think that it's because K betrayed her when they were young and that was the last memory she made. But if that were the case, then why would she still be closer to her sister than anyone else? And it can't be because Renji's a guy. Chihiro is being cared for by Yu Himura, who she has to trust on a daily basis, and oh my god, this is stupid. Seriously, guys, I'm not nitpicking here. This bizarre attitude of hers derails every single conversation that she and Renji have, but for the completely wrong reasons. Their interactions should be difficult because of her memory disorder, not some artificially contrived trust issue BS that's never substantiated properly. So instead of, I don't know, being able to get inside of Chihiro's head so that I can sympathize with her and understand where she's coming from, I'm left pissed off because of this arbitrary BS behavior targeted at the most innocent character in the entire series. Well, good job, writers. You made me hate the disabled girl. You did it. Speaking of derailed conversations.
School tomorrow. I wish I didn't have to go.
School.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Actually, I love to hear about it. I have a twin sister who tells me all about school every day. Just listening to her talk about her experiences there always makes me happy too.
You have a twin?
Hang on a second, guys. I need to
Total opposite.
check something really
She's
quick.
outgoing and not at all shy like I am. She's a freshman at Ottawa. Her name is K Shindo.
I see, but I wouldn't know her if she's in middle school.
Well, she's in high school.
What? But she's your twin,
Yup.
right?
Yes.
It is like I'm watching this scene being written in real time.
If I
Let's break this down so that you can see just how painfully unnatural and awful this dialogue is.
School tomorrow. I wish I didn't have to go.
Why don't you want to go?
It's not that I don't like school.
School.
See, Renji doesn't bring up school to actually reflect or establish something about his character because his feelings about it immediately become irrelevant. Instead,
Actually, I love to hear about it. More so because I've never been able to go.
Really?
it's brought up so that Chihiro can exposit that she's never been able to go to school. But notice how she says she loves hearing about it? You'd think that a comment like that would lead to Renji telling her more about school, but you'd be completely wrong because...
I have a twin sister who tells me all about school every day. Just listening to her talk about her experiences there always makes me happy too. She's a freshman at Ottawa.
It's actually just an extremely clunky segue that leads into her talking about K. So now, the conversation has absolutely nothing to do with school or how Renji feels about it, even though he's the one who brought it up. Instead, it's all an extremely convoluted vehicle designed to exclusively establish...
If I were in school, I'd be a freshman in high school too.
Oh, I see. Ah, man, I thought she was way younger than me.
that Renji is a pedophile. Wait, how am I supposed to get invested in these characters or care about any interactions they have when every single line of dialogue so clearly feels artificial and read off a page? None of it feels like anything that two people would actually say to each other. And no, the Japanese isn't any better. This is an extremely literal translation. The dialogue really is just this fake. Also, seriously, what the hell, Renji?
Ah, man, I thought she was way younger than me.
You mean she isn't 12? Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Should I call you Shindo-san from now on instead?
But what's wrong with Chihiro? That's what everyone else calls me.
Okay, then will you call me Renji?
Not Aso-san?
That's too formal.
Then I can call you Renji-san?
San is too formal too. It's embarrassing. How about Kun?
That's embarrassing for me.
Shut up, shut the fuck up! More time wasted. Why did this have to last for over a minute? Why does it matter? I don't give enough of a shit about Japanese honorifics to watch you have an entire argument about them. And if any of you out there do, then fuck you too. Move it along already.
So it was you that she's been seeing. If you want to be with Chihiro, you'd better brace yourself.
Man, this scene. Well, if everything I've been complaining about up until this point doesn't derail Chihiro's story, then this sure does. I'm not going to spoil just how stupid this becomes later. No, I want you to take that rage train wreck with me. Instead, let's talk about how this scene fails as an adaptation. First off, why was Himura downtown? He just wanders in out of nowhere and heads off just as immediately. What, was he hiding behind a bush waiting to spy on Chihiro? What a creepy friggin' weirdo. In the VN, he's there because he's talking to his friend Kuze. Oh, what? Establishing a reason for a character to be where they are so that their presence doesn't feel contrived? Who needs that? Second, all Himura says here is that Renji should brace himself, and then the scene ends. Well, what does that sound like to you? Does that sound like he's trying to warn him off? Or like he's fine with the two being together and is just telling him to be prepared? I hope you know, because I sure don't, and I can't believe Renji does either. What kind of irresponsible, pointless, cryptic BS was that?
If you want to be with Chihiro, you'd better brace yourself.
And by that I mean, well, you know, and stuff. Okay, bye.
Do you understand? Do you?
Compare this to the visual novel, where Homura avoids the subject because he's not the type of person to tell people how to live their lives until Renji demands to know his opinion. Then, and only then, does he tell him to be prepared, clarifying his intention by then saying that Renji should consider getting out before he gets in too deep. Well, gee, who needs clarity when it comes to warnings like that? Certainly not the protagonist you're talking to, or even the audience for that matter. Screw everyone, am I right?
If you want to be with Chihiro, you'd better brace yourself.
What the? Was that flashback for the goldfish in the audience? It literally happened 30 seconds ago!
Do you understand? Do you?
No! And finally, the episode ends with Chihiro telling Renji about her memory defect and oh fuck off! What is this meant to accomplish? So did you think I was kidding when I said this was going to get worse and fast? Well, keep that delusion alive, guys. We've only got 22 more episodes to go. 22? 22.
Let it all